how do you turn a simple idea into a complete story for a shonen manga? If you're interested in creating manga, comics, or webtoons, you've probably heard of the traditional Japanese story structure called Kishotenketsu. It's the standard framework. It has 4 parts: Ki, the introduction; Sho, the development; Ten, the twist; and Ketsu, the conclusion. It sounds simple enough. Many people who have actually tried to use it for writing quickly realize that it's a bit too vague and doesn't really help them turn simple ideas into full-blown complex stories. It fails to tell you how to handle a long-running story, or where to put the character development, or when to introduce the villain, or how to pace your battles. Kishotenketsu is more of a loose framework. So, here's a solution. We're going to take that traditional 4-part structure and crack it wide open. Instead of 4 vague sections, we'll take the development phase, the part known as Sho, and split it into 3 distinct chunks: development part 1, 2, and 3. So instead of introduction, development, twist, and conclusion, it now becomes introduction, development part 1, development part 2, development part 3, twist, and conclusion. 6 parts. The benefit of this modified structure is that each part is its own arc of the story, and you can break it up even further if you want. Before we dive into the roadmap, you need to know a few key terms I'll use throughout the explanation. First, you have the lie. The lie is a false reality that the hero believes about themselves. Maybe they think, I'm a loser, or maybe they think, I must be perfect to be loved. The lie is a deep-rooted belief that holds them back. Next, you have the ghost. The ghost is the past trauma or specific event from the hero's past. The ghost is the reason the hero believes the lie. Next, you have the truth. The truth is what kills the lie. Simply put, it's the epiphany that the hero has that destroys their negative beliefs. Finally, let's talk about your cast of main characters. For this story structure, we'll use the 5-man band trope as our example. The 5-man band includes the hero, the prodigy, the powerhouse, the brains, and the love interest. You don't have to use this exact setup, but it helps to see how different archetypes fit into the plot. Now, let's actually get into the story structure. Story arc number 1, the introduction arc. In the original Kishotenketsu structure, this corresponds to the Ki part. The goal here is simple: establish the world, the problem, and the main cast of characters. Start with the hook and the hero's lie. You must establish the unique premise of your story immediately. A hook is basically a 1-sentence premise. For example, if you look at a story like Attack on Titan, the 1-sentence premise is something like, humanity is trapped inside massive walls to protect itself against giant man-eating monsters. This 1-sentence premise is the hook, and when you read the very first chapter of Attack on Titan, this premise is established immediately. If you need help coming up with a 1-sentence premise, then watch our video, How to Come Up with an Idea for Your Manga in 7 Minutes. The link will be in the description. After you determine the hook, you should introduce the main character. Your hero's character arc begins right here, but don't show them as a hero yet. Show their daily life. More importantly, this is where it all begins. Show the lie they believe about themselves. If your hero believes they're a worthless loser, don't just tell the audience. Show them living the boring, mundane life of a loser. Make the imagery visceral. Show them living in a dirty apartment, or accepting mistreatment from a boss or a peer. Show us the pain of their daily life. The key is to make the audience come to the conclusion on their own, through what you show them. Don't be lazy and just say the hero's lie blatantly. Simultaneously, while introducing the hero and their lie, we introduce the main threat. In a dark shonen story, the villain isn't just a boss waiting at the end of a level. The threat should feel vast and overwhelming. It should feel like it's everywhere. Villains don't work alone. Waging wars costs money and requires information. Show the villain is organized before the hero even meets them. Here's a few ideas on how to display this. Idea number 1, show the villain's logistical power. Introduce a manager-type figure. This could be a corrupt CEO, a dark priest, etc. You could show them moving massive resources, money, weapons, or personnel, to a secret project. Idea number 2, you can show the villain's intelligence network or introduce a strategist-type character who works for the villain. Or you can use both. Now that you've established the hook, introduce the main character's lie and the overwhelming power of the villain. It's time to start the story. Everything begins with the inciting incident. The inciting incident is the event that shatters the hero's mundane, ordinary world. They are forced to leave the old world behind and enter the new world. The new world could be a military base, a magic academy, or a hidden city. For example, in My Hero Academia. The inciting incident is when Deku jumps in to save Bakugo from a villain with no powers at all, proving that he was a true hero at heart. All Might was watching and chooses to make Deku his successor. This moment is what allows Deku to enter the new world of UA High School and leave the old world of his previous life behind. Once they are in the new world, introduce the cast. First, the prodigy character. They should be established and confident. Have them immediately dismiss or challenge the hero. This sets up a dynamic of skilled professional versus raw amateur. Second, the powerhouse character. They can be physically imposing but gentle. Or you can do what Avatar: The Last Airbender did and make the powerhouse character the exact opposite of physically imposing, like Toph Beifong. Next, the brains character. They might be intellectually curious but physically weak. They would rather choose the library over the gym. You can always flip this trope by making the brains character also strong, but the point is to establish that their true strength is their mind. Last is the love interest. This character can be a senior and experienced, or a newbie like the hero. They could be the first person in the new world to treat the hero with kindness. Establish them how you want. At this point, in the introduction arc, the hero has entered the new world and the main cast is introduced. To wrap up the arc, you want some form of an aptitude test. This is a formal test or tournament-style exhibition. It serves a visual purpose. It demonstrates the new powers and establishes a power baseline for the audience. During this test, the hero might show immense raw power, but absolutely no control. The prodigy, on the other hand, could display flawless technique and likely wins the match. Be creative and display powers however you want. The outcome of this test is that it reinforces the hero's lack of understanding and sets up a training arc down the line. But you don't end the arc there, you end on a big cliffhanger. A cliffhanger is something open-ended that makes the audience eager to see what happens next. It could be something that the villain does, or new information revealed in dialogue, or clues that are shown but not explained. This concludes the introduction arc. If you want, you can add filler chapters. It's good to add some filler chapters after each arc. Filler chapters are small stories that aren't a part of the main plot. Common filler ideas like the classic anime beach day, festival, class party, or side mission are good examples. Story arc number 2, Development arc part 1. In this arc, we want to display the first battles, false confidence, and challenging the hero's lie. It starts with the first real battle. The team gets their first taste of combat. These are intermediary villains. They are dangerous, but beatable. The hero wins their first fight. This is crucial. This victory provides the first real evidence against their lie. If they thought they were a loser, this win gives them a dangerous boost of confidence. The hero's team evolves here as well. The prodigy finds that their textbook tactics fail against a dirty fighter. They are forced to rely on the hero's unpredictable moves. A seed of respect is planted. The powerhouse takes a hit meant for a teammate. They realize their body is a weapon of defense. The brains might be useless in the physical fight, but afterwards, they analyze the enemy to find a clue no one else saw. The love interest heals the team. They might privately tell the hero something that goes against the hero's lie. If the hero's lie is that they are a loser, then the love interest might claim, "A failure doesn't do what you just did," validating the hero's potential. This breeds false security. The minor villains are defeated. The heroes feel strong. But then, the brains analyzes that clue they found. The clue reveals that the enemies they just fought were just a fraction of the villain's power. The heroes realize the enemy is not a random gang, but an organization with a terrifying absolute ideology. Again, we end this arc on a strong cliffhanger. The main villain is informed of their henchmen's defeat, causing them to turn their gaze toward the heroes. Now you can add the optional filler chapters after the end of this arc. The vibe here is bonding, connection, and family. After surviving a life or death situation, relationships deepen, rivals become allies, strangers become friends. Show the team sharing a meal. Show a training montage where they help each other. Show a slice of life chapter exploring a character's hobby. Story arc number 3, the development arc part 2. The previous arc created false confidence. This arc strips it all away. First, we give the heroes a reality check. Another underling of the main villain appears, a stronger intermediary villain. They do something that completely dwarfs the hero's power, making them look like feeble weaklings. The group collectively realizes their false confidence from the previous arc was a mistake. They are still extremely weak. The group is forced to find mentors to help them become stronger. It's not a matter of choice. They do this, or they won't survive. Here, the group splits up to train with mentors tailored to their specific skill sets. You could also have the group train under the same mentor. The hero learns to master their unique advantage. The prodigy becomes a technician. The powerhouse learns control, and the brains learns new tactics. While this is happening, we also show the villain's large-scale actions. The villain leverages their logistical branch, the politicians and CEOs, to cause a global destabilization event. This could be a sudden war, an economic collapse, or a manufactured plague. This proves the villain is untouchable and winning on a global scale. Here, introduce the elite enforcers. These guys are the cream of the crop, the villain's strongest lieutenants. They should be dark mirrors to the heroes. If you have a character who values life, introduce a villain strategist who sacrifices their own troops without hesitation. The arc culminates in a display of power. The hero's training is interrupted by a mid-level threat. The team uses their newly learned strength to win. They feel ready for the upcoming war. End this arc on a massive cliffhanger. The villain creates an awe-inspiring spectacle. Maybe they hijack global communications or darken the sky to announce their endgame. After this arc ends, you can add filler chapters. The vibe has shifted here to anxiety, uncertainty, and preparation. The world outside is falling apart due to the villain's actions. The characters feel the weight of the coming conflict. Show them writing letters home, a somber campfire scene, civilians panicking while the heroes try to maintain order. Story arc number 4, the development arc part 3. The pre-war arc. In this arc, the heroes face their ghosts and suffer a major loss. It serves as the story's midpoint. The arc begins with the climax of all the subplots. The global destabilization the villain caused in previous arcs reaches a climax. Society is crumbling. The villain's henchmen use the chaos to turn public opinion against the heroes through propaganda. Then comes the huge loss. The villain's elite enforcers attack. But they don't just fight physically, they target the hero's psychological flaws. One villain targets the prodigy's pride, another exploits the powerhouse's need to save everyone, etc. The heroes survive, but they lose, badly, and take a severe beating. They are mentally crushed. This forces them to confront each of their ghosts. For the hero, the loss reminds them of their lie, that past trauma. They question if they are on the right path. The team responds to this loss in different ways. The prodigy gets their ultimate humbling, but finally accepts the hero as a true partner. The powerhouse realizes strength alone isn't enough and learns to be a smart shield. The brains overcomes their over-reliance in their intellect and realizes that the mind of one person won't defeat the villain. The love interest might have their own ghost resurface, perhaps survivor's guilt, making them cold. The hero must help them return to their old self. This leads to the setup. This is where the heroes get a massive power-up. A mentor character introduces a powerful technique or weapon that allows the team to fight against the villain on even ground. At the same time, give the audience a flashback. Show the villain's history. We need to understand why they are doing this, even if we don't agree with it. Finally, we end the arc on a strong cliffhanger, which is the villain initiating the final war. Here you can add optional filler chapters. After this arc, the vibe is grim, silence, and the calm before the storm. There are no jokes here. This is the deep breath before the plunge. Show them finalizing battle plans. Show them sharpening weapons. Show a quiet romantic moment between the hero and love interest. Story arc number 5, the twist. In this arc, we experience the sacrifice and the darkest hour for the heroes. This arc begins with the collapse of the system. The villain's logistical and intel branches have succeeded. The heroes realize they are fighting the entire infected system of the world. The villain strikes the hero's sanctuary, or their last bastion of hope. Then, you drop the major twist. A massive secret is revealed about the hero, the mentor, or the villain. This twist should validate the hero's lie to a terrifying degree. If they believed they were a curse, the twist should make them think, "See, you really were a curse all along." This leads to the darkest hour. Key leaders, friends, animal companions, or mentors die to protect the hero and their team. All hope seems lost. The villain appears invincible. But this tragedy triggers the growth of the main characters. The death of the key allies close to the hero forces the team to step up. They are no longer students. Their individual character arcs of the prodigy, powerhouse, brains, and love interest are complete. Only the main hero's character arc remains. The prodigy becomes the perfect sword. The powerhouse becomes the unbreakable shield. The brains becomes the flawless strategist. Now, they must work together to support the hero's final push. Again, we end this arc on a massive cliffhanger. If you want, you can add optional filler chapters here as well. These would be the last set of filler chapters. After this arc, there is a brief moment of stillness amidst the chaos, the team sharing a final silent look of understanding before charging into the final battle. Story arc number 6, the conclusion arc. This is the final arc of the story, and it begins with the key to winning. A groundbreaking discovery is made about the villain's weakness. This connects dots hinted at throughout the entire story. It is usually a philosophical or tactical flaw that the villain ignored, brushed off as unimportant, or simply can't understand. The hero's side will exploit this to defeat the villain. The hero accepts the truth and finally overcomes their lie and their ghost. The hero is now mentally ready to win. Then, a coordinated strike takes place against the villain. The team splits up. They dismantle the villain's support systems, the logistics and intel networks, and hold off the remaining elite enforcers. They clear the path so the hero can face the main villain alone. This leads to the final battle, hero versus villain. The hero uses the advantage gained from the key discovery to trump the main villain. The prodigy, powerhouse, brains, love interest, mentors, and side characters defeat the villain's underlings while the hero fights the villain. After the final battle is won, we have a resolution. Accountability is served, minor villains are punished, the world slowly returns to normal. The love interest or closest friend solidifies their bond with the hero. They represent the bridge between the hero's old life and the new reality. The hero returns to the normal world as a changed individual. They no longer believe the lie. In conclusion, this structure takes the vague framework of Kishotenketsu and turns it into a weapon. It gives you a map. It tells you exactly where to put the pain, where to put the growth, and where to put the battles. But remember, this is just a framework. It is a starting point. You can modify it. You can expand it. But if you are staring at a blank page, wondering how to turn that cool scene into a masterpiece, start here. Come up with an interesting one-sentence premise, create your characters, and fill in the blanks. If this video helped you, hit the like button and leave a comment below. And don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description. It's a great place to share your work and connect with other creators. Thanks for watching.